Well, good afternoon, everyone. We had to do a double take on that because there's some days where you just need to play it twice. And as you know, is Monday, one ish. So it is time for Dream Do Done, your accountability podcast. And we're so excited that you could join us, that you've been here. I can't believe that we're literally about to close out year 3 of Dream Do Done. Just being here with you every Monday, talking about the topics that move you from just a dream to actually doing and getting it done. And you see, I'm in a mask today because Dream Do Done happens even on the road. And I am in a New York City public school where I had to do keynote today for the first day of school and encouraging these children in these crazy COVID times. You know, it's a new day. People are still concerned about their children, and all over the country, kids are going back to school, to high school, they're in colleges. So we're living in times that are very different. And as I looked into their little eyes, I just wanted to remind them that the hardest battles go to the most resilient people. And they clearly are the resilient, brilliant ones that are going to pull us through this crazy pandemic season that we are witnessing. So happy back to school for everyone who's back. I think New York is one of the latest in the country of going back to school. So by now, everybody is in, and we're praying everyone stays safe throughout this time. And we just want to welcome you to the show. Continue to share it with others. Leave your comments. If you're watching the replay, just let us know, #replay, and place your comments there as well. But let me kick it over to my co-host. Start with the how-to coach, Tamara Hartley. And then we'll kick it down to the pulpit chick, Serena Brown Travis.
Hey everyone, happy Monday. It really has been a great week for me, just in regards of really realizing that we're not done with this pandemic and we really do still need to think about our business options. So I met with some clients over the weekend and really was pressing home that what you said, Stacey, this is not over. These are unprecedented times. Most people were kind of thinking we were at the end of the road, so they were jumping back into their normal routines only to kind of be snatched back. Now we're back at the mask mandate. And so really thinking about business, it really brings home that you really do need to. This is a time for us entrepreneurs to really think about how we can contribute to this world. And if you do have a business that's, people facing, that you kind of think of what you can do business wise. So I really had a great time this weekend pouring into entrepreneurs about digital products, digital ways to touch people and still help people in a virtual world. So it's been a great weekend for that, but still being cautious about just being out in the world right now.
I love it. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Serena. I was just saying, absolutely.
So I love that. So over the week, first of all, hello. It seems like, I want to say like, Grandma, long time no see, It has been a wonderful weekend, going through just life in general. And so, because I'm back in school, everything is about study. And so I will say that anyone that who's obtaining any advanced degree at this time, and basically, let's just go with all of our students in general. Like, this is a time, continue to encourage them. I will tell you that I've already looked to see when I can withdraw passing. If I can withdraw without there being any consequences, at this point, I don't want, the Lord won't give you more than you can bear. I don't want nothing but just someone to tell me it's okay to quit. So that's where I am.
Well, right before the show in our green room shenanigans, we already told you that you got this. You are not quitting. You are built for this.
Right, which I do appreciate. And I know that if I do quit, I can expect an in-person visit from Tamara and a prayer from Stacey. So, just either way, these are the people that we need in our lives to keep going. So, Stacey, that's why I so appreciate what you're doing right now. The fact that we see the file cap that you are in, you're pressing when you preach, which is encouraging other people, encouraging students. And so I appreciate you always having your pulse on the issues that will impact the future. So good for you. And I appreciate both of you all giving me strength and motivation to keep on keeping on.
Absolutely. And it's an interesting time that we're living in. And in this interesting time, we have to make a decision on how we're going to show up. And all of us are women of faith. We understand that we've chosen for that to be our founding and core principle. So with that, we don't get to opt out of when things get hard, right? I wish we could, but we don't. We don't get to opt out. We just kind of got to go through it and trust and believe that as we go through it, we get stronger. And I saw this quote, and I thought it was just appropriate because people are going through so much right now, loss of life. The news is not really reporting the truth on COVID because numbers are worse than they were when we were in the height of it in many places. Last responders are still struggling, and we don't talk about last responders a lot. I have one of the ladies in my community of faithpreneurs who she works for the largest casket manufacturer in the Northeast, and they can't even keep up with making caskets and all the funeral homes and directors that are trying to give a dignified ending to people's transition. It's a lot happening. You have school districts, principals, teachers, support staff who have their own children. And they're also taking care of other people's children in school and nervous. You have, of course, all of those who are in healthcare, from the doctors to the nurses to the orderly. And we just passed the weekend where we were pausing to remember 9/11 and all the first responders from 9/11. And even post 9/11, the different funds that have been enacted for people who have come up with other challenges with their health, with cancer, addressing that. So when you take all of what's going on, and then you got your average cray-cray who just out on the street doing some foolishness that's affected somebody's life. So when you put all of this cocktail together, it can put you in a space of falling into serious depression, feeling out of sorts. Suicide rates are up. People are losing hope. People don't want to fight anymore. And, today's show, yes, we could talk about business, we could talk about family, but we just want to really talk about the strength and resolve that you need to pull from. Where do you get that from? For people of faith, we know that there's a universal belief that God is real and his word is true. But if you don't have faith, where do you go? Everybody finds something, and we're not here to judge what you choose. We're just saying, honey, it might be time for you to find something. If you don't know about faith, you might want to go look it up, because you never know how strong you are until being strong is the only choice you have. That's a powerful statement. And as women, we just know how to get everything done in spite of everything that's going around. But take time to ask for help, to open up and share, because we ask for help not because we're weak. I say this all the time. We ask for help because we want to remain strong. And if that's the only chance or choice that you have amidst COVID, amidst being furloughed, businesses maybe not pulling in the same revenue as it was because of the pivots in COVID, whatever it is, we want you to know that you have 3 accountability partners here to just support you as you keep pressing through, as you keep pushing to what's next, and you draw from strength. And we hope that there's some sort of practice that you've instilled that you can get that strength from. So I'll send it over to the pulpit chick for her comments, and then to the how-to coach, because the pulpit chick is still getting her school, and we praying for all of the lessons to just poof in her brain, so it's nice and easy, and she write all those papers with ease.
Right. But listen, if you see me stay on this call longer than 1:30, then you know I have withdrawn from the class. But but I will say I appreciate this quote, and more importantly, for people who are like me, who say, listen, if this is what being strong looks like, I'm straight. I could just, just kind of go through life. I don't have to be a strong woman. I don't have to, I am that person. I was that person. I try not to be that person. But as a result of good coaching and good friendships, and the 2 ladies that stand before me today, I am not still in the bed covered up. Now, of course, we still have to pay. At some point, stay in the bed all day does not work. But I will say that there will be times that you do want to give up. And so Don't feel bad, but reach out to people who know you, who love you. And sometimes they will reach out to you. Just divine intervention will have them call you. You all have always heard me joke and talk about a Friday night phone call from Tamara Hartley. I already know that something is on her spirit for her to tell me, hey, where are we? What's going on? A Saturday morning phone call from Stacy. I know something is, hey, where are we with that project? You remember the last time we talked and this was a deadline. So just in case you lose your strength, and you will, and it's okay, and don't beat yourself up about losing your strength. Make sure you have the correct people in your corner who know you well enough that you're honest with, who can say, sis, we're not going to be defeated. I'm going to get back in the trenches with you. We're going to pull you along, push you along, and get you where you need to be. And so when you have, now I ain't scared of none of them. However, when you have folks who pray, a praying spirit knows a praying spirit. And so you understand that you're being pushed, and they're not picking on me. They're literally pushing me. They've been there. They've done this. They're I appreciate you all. You're a bit older than me. And so you're like, oh no, I know where you are. I know that life is doing this to you at this particular time. And so even if you don't remain strong, have people in your corner who can see you and to pull you back to what your strength should be. And that's all I've got to say about that.
I don't have my sound effects today, but amen.
Look, in little sister fashion, she's scared. She's scared.
So yes, as you all know, I do have to step off so I can be on my 1:30 class. But I know I'm going to hit up the replay because I know they're about to drop some nuggets I'm going to miss, which are probably some nuggets they've already given me. But because I was the warm up, I was the warm up about 30 minutes ago. Y'all about to get it. Like y'all about to have a pen and paper and start writing it down. Love you both, sisters. We'll talk soon.
Love
Take
you
care.
more, and have an amazing class.
She is so funny. One of the things, though, that she said that was really, really key, though, a lot of times we suffer in silence. We talked about this on the show before, people whose businesses aren't doing as well as they could be doing because of the effects of the pandemic, or even just anything. You're just not living the dream you wanted to live. You're not doing what you set out to do. You kind of get down on yourself. My thing about that is it is okay to have moments. It is okay to have realizations. But what you do with those moments and those realizations is what's important. I tell my kids all the time, pitch a tent, just don't live there. And even if you're going to pitch a tent, just don't build it all the way up. Just, pitch it a little bit. I tell them that all the time. It's okay to have your moments. No judgment in that, because we've all been there. We've all had those moments where it felt like it was giving up was the easiest thing to do. But then you realize there are more options. And that's where this quote comes in for me. You don't know how strong you are until being strong is that only choice. And a lot of times, you look at people like Stacy who go. She's revealed last week that she had to take a setback and just kind of rejuvenate, recharge. Even those people that you look at like they're the strongest people out there, they have their moments. Believe that. A lot of times we compare ourselves or we try to look at where someone else is. But the truth of the matter is we've all been there. We all still go there from time to time. But what you do with those moments is what's important. So I hope we impress upon you today that if you're feeling low, if you're feeling down, reach out to those people that can help you. Again, your accountability partners are always here, but you should also have some other accountability partners in your private life that you can talk to, share with. Sometimes just getting things out in the open or that you don't have to deal with alone helps so much. And then it reminds you where you are. And I always say, look at that track record. We talk about our faith. We talk about what he's done for you. Look at that track record. And you're like, you know what? He got you out once. He can get you out again. You survived that because you thought that was going to kill you. You thought that was the end of the line, but you got through it and you got over. So look at your track record. I always talk about, our to-do list is so full, but what about our to-done list? What have you done up until this point? Because times will get hard. You'll have thoughts, you'll have feelings, but look at that track record. Look at that to-done list and look at what you've already come through and what that strength has already helped you overcome. So those are my words. And I believe that. And look, I look at my track record all the time because that's what pushes me to say, you know what, I can do it again and again and again.
Absolutely. And I think that's the part that we don't talk about enough. Just reminding each other and ourselves, we can do hard. We've done hard before. It's not our first rodeo. It's just a different situation, but the same story. What's the story? Life presents a challenge. You do life and you succeed. right? That's what lifing is. You just go
Absolutely.
through a series of continuous challenges that get you stronger. You know, a baby has to learn how to walk. How many times do they fall before they finally steady themselves and move? You
Mhm.
know, a toddler has to learn, then a preteen has to learn, then a teen. So at each stage of your life, you're going to go through something that's not easy. And it's your strength and resilience that carries you through to the next part of that test. So I love that what you just shared. And like, hey, I've been here before. I could do,
Yeah,
wait,
I
hold
done
on.
done some things.
Yeah, I've been done a few things. And, you know, for those of us of faith, look, he brought me this far not to leave me, right? So that we can continue to push forward. But I think the most challenge, well, I'm gonna say the most, or one of the most challenging areas that I've seen for people now is communicating their real challenges. Like,
Yeah.
what are they going through? Because they're so busy being strong, they're so busy holding on to what we say saving face that they're
Mhm.
losing themselves in the process. Just let it go. Which one of those cartoons sing "Let It Go"? Okay, I don't know which one it is. Let it go. Just let it go and
Absolutely.
don't worry about judgment from others because everybody's going through something, or you're
Yeah.
just not living. It's just different forms, different ways. And this quote just really speaks to the fact that strength is not that you won't have a moment or you won't feel a certain kind of way. Strength is that you have a resolve to get past it, to learn the lesson in that moment, to become stronger as a result of it, not just pretend that everything is okay.
Absolutely. And honestly, that's a lesson for life, business. It's a general rule, because you're going to have different ups and downs in every level of your life, relationships, career, all of that. And so those are lessons that you can apply to every area of your life.
Absolutely. And we hope that this is something that we can remember as, as I told the young ladies this morning in our session, they can do hard. They survived a crazy year of virtual, not virtual learning. Now they're back in the building. Seniors who are getting ready to embark on one of the most memorable times in your life, and they don't know what's ahead. So they're taking it one day at a time. And it's just a decision to say, look, we're not doing it by ourselves. The whole world is trying to figure
Yeah.
out what this looks like and how do we move forward with creating what we want and not being afraid of asking for what you need and in sharing with people how to treat you in this time because everybody is responding differently and extending a little grace.
Oh,
I
yes.
think sometimes we forget that. We talked about that on the show before, but just extend a little grace. Not everybody can handle things in the same way, and it's okay.
Yes.
So just
Yes.
extend a little grace as we all figure this thing out and just truly not try to do it by ourselves. So while we're here, like Tamara just said, as your accountability partners, we also want you to have someone on a regular 9 to 5 each day that you can just reach out to,
Yeah.
laugh with. Sometimes watching a good movie that makes no sense is not really helping your gray matter grow and expand. You just laughing because laughter is good healing and medicine for the soul.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. So we definitely want you to make sure you stay tuned to our website, dreamdodone.com. No matter what, you see, we are showing up here on a Monday at 1. As you know, Stacy, we appreciate you always being in location. Look, mask on in the schools, asking them for some production studio space. We
Exactly.
appreciate that. But one of the reasons why we are committed to showing up is because we want to show you that no matter what, you can still show up. No matter how it looks, if we were just been on it being this professional studio quality production, we would probably only show up when we thought things were perfect. But we are here in and out of wherever we are. We've come to you from some crazy places, but the show must go on. So we appreciate you tuning in every week. We hope that you are really getting something out of this. We share business, life, things that you can use for your life. One of the things I want you to know that Dream Do Done is a safe space. We talk about sitting in the no judgment seat, but you have to have a space where you can be vulnerable, where you can share ideas, where you can share your fears, especially when you're talking about people who are in families, you're doing business, family, we're wife and children, all the fears that we have throughout this pandemic and just all the things going on in the world, we've been able to share on the show. Even though we say we're all about business and entrepreneurship, we share a lot because all of that is an aspect of all of our lives. So we hope that you get something every week. We want you to continue to stay in. If there's anything you want to talk about, make sure you drop it in the comments because we want to make sure the show is relevant and that will really help you in areas that you need it. So stay tuned to dreambedone.com and make sure you sign up for some of our master classes that we have coming up, and we can actually have all three of us pouring directly into you in one of those master classes. So thanks for tuning in, and we appreciate you so much.
Thank you, Tamara, and everybody. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. By the grace of God, who knows where we'll be showing up from.
Who knows? But we'll be here.
That's what I told the girls today, consistency and discipline. And you see that with Dream Do Done. All right, everyone. Bye-bye.